Good morning, everyone. Several miles into the day already. It's a really nice day, really warm. Already sweating. It's not that warm, but it's, I don't know, probably 60 already, maybe 65. Gonna push up to 80 today, kind of like yesterday. Really long day yesterday. I think it was about 31 miles. And pushed really well. My left knee is bothering me a little bit today, but that's about it. Have some pains in my body outside of what has to do with walking, like where the hip belt goes. That's, you know, it's already bruised, which that I'm very used to from last year on the PCT. It took a good month or two for those bruises to go away after the hike was over. But they were kind of scraping yesterday, probably because of all the rocks I was climbing over and the backpack kind of moving around a little bit scraped raw. And then my shoulders are a little sore for the same reason, just the backpack pulling on them all day. But besides that, I'm doing good, feeling strong. It was a little bit slow start for me this morning. I did make an executive decision today of something that I'm going to do today or not do. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. I definitely put a lot of thought into it. Wanted to make sure I was making the right decision for me and for the journey. And it was eating at me at first, so I wanted to make sure I made the right decision. But it's been a little wild kingdom out here. I was talking to my fiance on the phone, and a couple fawns were like right up next to me, just kind of watching me, looking at me, probably from 20 feet away. It was the cutest thing ever. They were very curious of what I was. Like, what is this tall thing on two legs with a blue shirt and that big hump coming out of his back? We don't know what he is. He doesn't look like us. But then again, how would they know? They don't have mirrors. Maybe they sit around at night looking at each other, telling each other what they look like. Okay, I'm not right. I know. But anyway, it was cute as heck. They were just sitting there looking at me, and then they started grazing again, and I took off, and that was the end of that. But cute little thing to see right off the bat. Remind me again a lot of Yosemite, where the deer is very curious of humans and not skittish. These weren't skittish. They just kept watching me, and I mean, they might have been a little skittish, wondering if I was going to do something to them, but they didn't seem to have any trust issues with me. So anyway, continuing on this beautiful morning. And also, I've crossed the 700-mile marker a few miles back. So the first 700 miles of the Appalachian Trail for 2023, raising awareness for osteoporosis, is in the bag. Walking by in the trail here, and there's a little tiny waterfall there. Not a big one, just a little tiny one. But what I seen was this over here. There's a wheel over there, like back in the pioneer days. I don't really know what they were used for. I just know they were using the pioneer days with the water. That's kind of cool seeing that back there. I wonder if it's operational still. Wonder how many years back it was used. I have a lot of questions and I have no answers. Oh well, I guess I'll just keep walking then. Looks like coming into something up here. Like walking into a pasture or something. That's what these are usually used for. Never seen one with hinges on it. Usually they just have them real narrow where you can get through them. The farm animals cannot. Hazy, humid day, but still gorgeous views coming into these pastures and meadows here. Absolutely beautiful. You can see purple trees over there, some white trees. Definitely things are starting to blossom. Man, it's just so beautiful. I really love walking through the meadows and pastures, not gonna lie. There looks like there are some fresh poop here. So maybe there's some actual cows out here or something. Ah, man, it's so beautiful. So as I'm walking through this meadow, this seems like a good time as any to talk about my executive decision that I made this morning, that I had to put a lot of thought into, because it was definitely tugging at me. So yesterday I walked up as far as I could to Dragon's Tooth so I could start there this morning and try to knock out the Triple Crown today. Unfortunately, the hostel that I stayed at, and I had to stay at one because I had no phone life left, battery life, and none in my charger, so I really needed to charge because it could be out here for a couple more days before I get to a town. So I needed to do that, and there was the only hostel in the area, so I went there, checked the weather. Very important thing that I needed to do. There's a big old black cow out here. I thought it was a bear at first from a distance. I'm like, what is that thing just saying out here? I'm so not used to seeing cows in the meadow. So here we are. Okay, there's a lot more than just that black one. Hold on. We'll get back to my story in a little bit. Well, this explains the fresh cow poop I see everywhere. This is the first time I've got to see some cows in the pasture. I'm loving it. Just seen a couple of little baby cows running around up here. Hopefully we don't have a upset mommy or anything. Aw, they're so cute. I cannot put you guys though on my list of wild animals, just so you know. They're just all eating, not even concerned with me at the moment. I really appreciate your milk and cheese. Yes, I do. Oh, look at these guys here. They're standing at the area where I would go out of that gate, getting off the trail, or where the trail goes. That's kind of funny. I don't want to let them out. All right, so back to my story. Before those cows distracted me, they were letting me get right up close, and those 4 juveniles, they were just like staring me down, saying, "Hey, you want to let us out of here? You want to let us go play on that mountain across the street?" And then when I got closer, they took off. But then when I stood there for a second, just kind of looking and taking some pictures, they came back to me like, "Hey, we're back. We're not scared now. You can take us. We'll be good. We promise." Anyway, so I checked the weather from the hostel, and it was still exactly like I thought it was. Today was going to be sunny and 80. Tomorrow and the next 2 days, thunderstorm and rain. Big cold front coming through. Not super cold, but much colder than 80 degrees. So now I had some thinking to do, because where I was at the hostel, from there to town I could do that in a day. If I backtrack, which is what I would have had to done, is backtrack back to Dragon's Tooth. That would have added another 6-ish miles or so. 2 miles there, but obviously with the side trail and everything. Let's just say 4 to 6, somewhere in there. Obviously a lot of rocks, so it would have been slow. Most likely I wouldn't have been able to get it all done in a day. Would have been pushing like 34 miles, I think, to town, not just to... Yeah, I mean, that's obviously going a little far. I wouldn't have had to go to town necessarily. I could have stopped after Tinker Cliffs and camped, and then went into town first thing in the morning or something. But my knee is also bothering me. And just a lot of different things to weigh. Number one, Dragon's Tooth is not a summit. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about the summits. And the Appalachian Trail does not go over the summit of the mountain, which right now it slips my mind, but the mountain that Dragon's Tooth is part of. Dragon Tooth is a rock that you can climb that, is pretty sketchy, I guess, to some. But it never gives you the summit. So there's that. Then there's also the fact that it's actually off the trail. It's not on the trail for the Dragon's Tooth itself. But it is sketchy and fun and part of the experience, and I really wanted to do it. However, I had to weigh the options here that I need to get out of the storm. I don't want to get caught here in the midst of this section and have to be going over big rock slabs and everything with possible lightning and rain on the rock. So I made the decision to, instead of backtracking those 2 miles, 2.5 miles, whatever it was, to Dragon's Tooth, that I was just going to go to McAfee Knob and Tinker Cliffs and keep going. So basically I'm skipping like 2 miles. As you well know, if you've been following this, I take every side trail, pretty much. 99% of side trails, especially if they go to a summit or a waterfalls. So I have a lot of miles banked. I am not worried in the least bit that I skipped a couple miles, because I've done a lot more than that. I think right now I'm banking like 18, 20 miles from what I've totaled it up on the other app that I use that keeps track of my miles each day. So I'm not going to keep rambling on here too long. I just want to let you know that I will not be going to Dragon's Tooth today. I'm going straight to McAfee Knob and the Tinker Cliffs. So it's cut 2 miles off the trail. There's a part of me a little bit bummed that I'm not going to go do Dragon's Tooth, but I can always go back and do that trail sometime, as I do travel a lot anyway, so I can always go do that. But today it's all about the weather and being safe and making sure I can get through all of this before the storms hit tomorrow. So I think that's all I wanted to let you know. But basically, yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Just executive decision. Little bit bummed, like I said, that I'm not going to be doing that to start off the day. Will not be getting the Triple Crown today. But I can, like I said, I can always go back and do that part. But I'm definitely going to get to see McAfee Knob on a bright, sunny, beautiful day. And Tinker Cliffs as well. So let's continue on. Very humid out today. Big old drop off from this cliff, ledge, ridge line, whatever you want to call it. Trail goes down here. And I am pouring sweat. I can't drink quick enough. Whew. It's not even 10 o'clock in the morning. A lot of these trees with the purple in them are blossoming. Really pretty. Coming in with the other trees that are green and green background, the green fields and the bluish mountains from the haze right now. Really pretty. Look at those trees budding. I said budding, not budding, but budding. That's the southern boy coming out in me. About 3.5 miles from the McAfee Knob summit. It's a brutally warm day. Humidity is quite high. I am depleted today. Can't figure out why. Drinking plenty of fluids, have had plenty of food. I don't know, maybe the heat from yesterday, just a really long day of hiking yesterday. I've had plenty of those long hiking days, though. I don't know, it's just sometimes the body isn't feeling it, and I'm just exhausted today. And my left knee is bugging me as well, so. But, yeah, just feeling a little exhausted today. Probably need a day of rest. I can't believe I need a day of rest after 4 zeros, but my knee started feeling a lot better yesterday, and I think all those rocks I was going over, like sideways and, sideway rock faces on the cliffs or the ledges there, and it might have tweaked it a little, and obviously the ups and downs of bigger rocks and boulders that I was going up and down, so, I'm going to do as much as I can today. Had a goal in mind. I don't know that I'm going to meet that goal unless I get a huge second win, but I'm going to listen to my body and do what I need to do for my body for sure. But definitely going to go up to McAfee Knob here. Been pushing hard to get there today. Hopefully get some great views, and hopefully the crowds won't be too bad. They look pretty heavy in the parking lot I just passed, and then ran across a few trail runners and such. People hiking, day hiking. So we'll see. But right here the sign says at McAfee Knob 3.4 miles. So getting close to being there for sure. Can't wait to see it. It's kind of ironic that on a day when I'm kind of suffering physically, today is one of the most iconic views of the whole Appalachian Trail. But you'll have that. This rock looks like a brain. This is your brain on the mountains. So beautiful. About a mile from the summit of McAfee Knob, I just ran into a couple that's from the Shenandoah area, and I talked with them for a good 5 minutes. Kind of tells you how tired and exhausted my body is. I don't stop. Usually if somebody says hi, I say hi and keep moving. I don't mean to be short or rude. I'm just always on a mission. I have somewhere that I need to be, and it's not just standing here. But I was happy to stand for a second and have a good conversation. They were very nice people too, very personable. But they were kind of explaining the next, basically the priest and 3 ridges, and after that, it gets what they call the Boulevard of Virginia, and the Shenandoah is this nice. Whoa! Oh, I love the fact that I almost fall so many times on camera for you all, so you get to see that and have your hearts jump. But yeah, it was nice talking to them. Looking forward to some cruisy miles there in Shenandoah for sure. But today, man, my body's just, it's not happy with me. My knee's hurting, my left knee, my hip, my back, my shoulders. Heck, even my hip, where the scrapes are from the hip belt, even that's burning like a mama. So I am looking forward to going down from McAfee and taking the rest of the day off. I need to just take a break right now. My body's not happy, and I know when to push it, and I know when not to push it. Today is not the day to push it. I mean, I'm having headaches and everything, just down in water left and right, so I know I'm not dehydrated. I'm drinking plenty of waters and electrolytes and eating plenty of food. Today my body's just saying, this isn't what you need to be doing. I mean, I'm still going to end up with like 17 miles. So it's still a short day, but a day nonetheless. But I'm looking forward to conquering McAfee Knob and then taking a break. Nope, not there yet. The views are coming in, but not there yet. Half a mile to go. You know, the trail here is actually quite cruisy at times. A lot of the rocks that you're climbing on are steps. Nothing like the scrambling or anything like that I've been seeing for the last 20, 30 miles. Not really scrambling, but, you know, having to maneuver your way around things. There's rocks here, But the trails are really wide at times, probably because it gets so busy. But not too bad at all. Pretty gradual climbs. I can barely handle flat today, I think. Whew. I haven't had my body just kind of give on me like this at all on the Appalachian Trail. Happened to PCT a couple times. Just had to push myself through. Except for those days when your body's saying it's not good for you to push through today. This is one of those days, so pushing through almost to the summit. And it's downhill to my rest. But I'm enjoying the trail. A little overcast, very hot, very humid. Sweating a lot. Excuse me. A gnat flew in my mouth. A lot of gnats up here, by the way. No-see-ums. Some people call them. But I always can see no-see-ums. So I don't really get why they're called that. Anyway, getting close to the top here. I'll see you on the summit.
Excuse me, Fortune. What are you doing here? Are you allowed to be on this summit? You need to give me money. Or food. Oh, you're northbound on the Appalachian Trail? Okay, continue on.
Wow. Standing on the summit of McAfee Knob. Oh my goodness. The views are spectacular. On a day where the body just didn't want to work too well, and every step was a struggle and a victory at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen, McAfee Knob is in the bag. I don't know if you can see these gnats. They're everywhere up here on top. But descending now, got some great photos and video up there. Great time. Feeling small but powerful at the same time. Looking down into the great valley from McAfee's Knob.